It's midnight. It's raining. Somewhere near the border of Poland and the Ukraine, a small band of travelers huddle at a roadside cafe. Chips in cardboard cartons, beer bottles sweating in the drizzle. Security teams whisper, working out how to move their charge through the dark onto a train bound for Kiev, Ukraine. And in the middle of it all, not an actor, not a pampered aristocrat, not the caricature painted by the British tabloid, but a prince, Prince Harry, cracking a joke, making people laugh, padding around in socks on the overnight train, eating from a food truck. Harry was there to lift up the broken and the wounded, veterans maimed in Russia's brutal war, men and women with missing limbs, scarred faces, shattered lives. And they cheer him, they shake his hands, they hug him, they call him hero. Why? Because Harry has built something of substance, the Invictus Games, and in the Ukraine, it's not a tabloid headline. It's hope, and they love him. Welcome. This is Majesty's Sussex Report, and I'm Antonio. Thank you for spending some of your valuable time here with us. Harry tells The Guardian, I have been fortunate. The one thing people miss when they hang up their uniform is purpose. That's what Invictus gives back. Purpose. Not pity, not charity, but pride. And then he says something most of the British press would never admit. It saved me. The soldier saved by service, the veteran saved by helping veterans. That's the truth of the man. And yes, he speaks of family. He says he wants to spend more time in Britain, to see his father more often. His children, Archie and Lilibet, Prince and Princess, one day to know his country. But he adds a condition, one that rings like a church bell through the noise. You cannot have reconciliation before you have truth. And that is the sentence the tabloids cannot abide by. Because truth is their mortal enemy. And here we come to the charade or charade, the circus, the gutter, the Daily Mail, the Sun, the Telegraph, these merchants of distortion who believe themselves the mouth of the nation. They have spent years describing Prince Harry as miserable, broken, whining. They tell us his smile has vanished, his marriage a burden, his life, well, a failure. And yet, in Ukraine, he is cheered in the streets, mobbed by veterans, embraced by mothers who lost their sons. They see not misery, but courage, not weakness, but presence. So, what are the tabloids peddling? Lies on glossy paper, smear packaged as news. They claim to speak for Britain, but Britain never elected them as oracle. Britain never asked the Daily Mail to be the ventriloquist, to be the soul of the kingdom. Harry himself calls them out. He says certain elements of the British press have tried to speak on my behalf and also on behalf of the nation. I think they are out of touch with the nation on lots of things. Out of touch? They are out of truth, out of decency, out of shame. Harry has sued some of those newspapers alongside Doreen Lawrence, Elton John. He's taken Associated Newspapers to court, and he is clear. It is not about revenge, it's about accountability. That's the difference between Harry and his tormentors. He fights for accountability. They fight for clicks, money. And when asked if he regrets speaking out, the book, the interviews, the Netflix docuseries, he says simply, my conscience is clear. My God, what a sentence. In a world of spin and silence, he stands with conscience clear. Mm. Think of it. The Sun newspapers and its affiliates screaming about his absence, while in Kiev he walks through Maidan Square alone, laying a wreath in silence before a sea of photographs of the dead. The Mail, what can we say about them? They will write articles about Meghan's shoes, about her and Kate. And Kate is better than Meghan ever could wish to be, they say. Now, while in Live, Harry embraces veterans with prosthetics, urging the world to replace pity with admiration. The Telegraph. The Telegraph. Scribbling and griping about royal spares, while Harry stands beside men who lost both legs to mines, telling them they are not less, that they are Invictus. That is the contrast. Gutter, gutter, gossip versus actual service. And for those that keep maligning Prince Harry and his wife, the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan. You've got your head so far up, some kind of misinformed manure, that I don't know unless you willfully wash yourself of your insanity, be able to see clearly. And here is where the press will never win. Because Harry's life, imperfect as any human being, complicated as any human being, is rooted in purpose. He told The Guardian, nobody should feel embarrassed or ashamed about their disability. It's about flipping from sympathy to admiration and respect. That is his message. That is his gift. So let the Daily Mail say what they want to say. Let the Sun say what they want to say. Let the Telegraph twist headlines and say what they want to say. Their empire is made of paper. His is made of flesh and blood and the unbreakable will of men and women who rise again after being broken. Harry says, I'm very happy with who I am, and I like the life that I live. And if his detractors cannot stomach that, well, that tells us far more about them than it ever will about him. Because Harry's conscience is clear. And the British press, their conscience, if they still possess one, is stained beyond repair. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, that his wife, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, said to him, just tell the truth. Just tell the truth. Then you'd have to worry about anything else. And maybe, just maybe, the lesson is this. You cannot bury truth beneath headlines. You cannot smother purpose with smears. And you cannot defeat a man whose conscience is clear.
It was raining at the border, midnight cold and gray. A soldier walks in silence on the long Kiev way. Not for crown or glory, not for papers that deceive, but for brothers and for sisters who still fight, who still believe. He said, I've been fortunate, Invictus saved me too. Purpose is the anchor when the storm keeps breaking through. My conscience is clear, my spirit won't bend. I'll walk with my wounded through, beginning to the end. The tabloids may twist, but the world can see I'll never give up on my military family. lays a wreath in sorrow, but he's standing there, prosthetic shine in sunlight, scars become a crown.
From pity into power, he will turn it all around. He said,
You can't have healing without truth being shown.
it's not revenge I'm after, just accountability alone.
My conscience is clear, my spirit won't bend. I'll walk with my wounded through beginning to the end. The tabloids may sneer, but they'll never define me. I'll never give up on my military family. They try to ride me broken, they try to ride me gone, but they don't own my story. I've been soldier all along.
In the laughter of the trenches, in the tears of those who stand,
I found a home, I found my soul, I found my mother's hand. My conscience is